So welcome back for my Journey to STEM Part 7. I'm Carlotta A, and I'm an electrical engineer, robotics engineer, engineering professor. And I've been requested for years to share my journey to STEM because seeing a Black woman engineering professor, Black woman engineer is extremely rare, probably less than 5% of all engineering disciplines are Black women engineering professors. So please don't quote me on that statistic. It may not be the most correct. So if you're keeping up, here in Part 7, I have now taken a leave of absence from my job at Ford Motor Company, and I am a full-time graduate student getting a master's in electrical engineering with a focus in controls at Wayne State University, and I love it. It's like God knew the challenges I had at Georgia Tech and that journey, so he made grad school wonderful for me. I'm able to focus 100% on my studies. I am making my goal of getting a 4.0 so that I can get into a PhD program because I know my undergrad grades are not going to get me there. I knocked it out the park on the GRE, which I knew was also a requirement for me to get into grad school and keep my grades up. In addition, I'm now able to do things I was never able to do in undergrad because I work so much. Like I am able to go to a NSBE convention, National Society of Black Engineers. This is why I tell my undergraduate students, find your community, join your community, get in organizations like SWE, Society of Women Engineers, National Society of Black Engineers, ACES, Hispanic Engineership, because it made all the difference being able to build community. I know that my time at Georgia Tech would have been so much better if I had been able to be in things like NSBE or go to the minority engineering office and things like that. So not only that, but I've always loved learning ever since I was a little girl. And now that I could do it without having to worry about paying rent and paying my bills, because my fellowship and the savings from being an engineer were enough for me to be able to live without having to work. All I did was go to school. If I wanted to, I did community service and tutoring. So we now have rounded that year out. I'm now working on my thesis, and the decision point has to be, do I return to Ford? Come back for the next part and stay STEM-tastic.